There is a lot of discussion in the crypto space right now about the fact that it looks like the market top is in, hitting a double top on Bitcoin, similar to what we have seen last cycle. But I don't think that is quite the case this time around. This is Denzel, your favorite Canadian crypto host, and we're going to dive into the charts for your midweek market update. Thank you so much for joining me. If you find any type of value at all in this video, please leave a like below. I am a brand new channel, so it really goes so far away and it helps me reach more people. But that's enough chat. Let's jump straight into the alpha. So as we see here, we actually have the Bitcoin chart here on a weekly time frame. So what a lot of people are trying to say is that this double top here that played out in the 2021 bull run, peaking once in March and then once again in November after seeing a disgusting drop in between, is what's happening right here. But personally, I don't think that's the case. This is not financial advice, just my own opinion. The market sentiment at this time was very different to what it is right now. We had FTX crashing, we had the Terra Luna incident. For those that know, but we're not going to focus on the past, we're going to focus on the future. Let's take a look at some confluences here as to why I believe, I don't know, nobody knows, but why I believe this is not the market top and that we have a long way to go. Number one, the MVRZ score. Long story short, this essentially lets you know if an asset is overvalued or undervalued. The lower we are in the chart, the better, because we aren't overvalued as an asset, and the higher we are on the chart, the more overvalued that asset is. And as you can see here, we have not spiked on the Bitcoin MVRZ score yet, or MVRVZ. There's a lot of different words there, or different letters there. Anyways, and that we are still in the mid-ranges here with a lot of room for more upside. The Bitcoin funding rates, not that many people are bullish, and this is your proof in the pudding right here. There's actually negative funding rates on some of our top exchanges here when it comes to trading Bitcoin, because people are expecting another downfall. People are expecting Bitcoin to go lower. And that's exactly what the market wants you to think before it takes to the upside. So neutral, more or less, or negative funding rates here is definitely bullish for the space. Next thing we got here is the liquidity heat map. And as you can see, majority of liquidity is actually sitting above us around that $108,000 line, that is USD. Even though we have a little bit of liquidity down here, I don't think it's too much of a threat at this moment. And we'll circle back to the charts in a bit and I will tell you why. The ETF inflows. We actually had about $1 billion, give or take, in outflows the past couple days. But I don't think that's to fret too much about. As we can see, the majority or the overall trend of the ETF inflows is a drastic, aggressive, exponential uptrend. And even though we do see a little bit of corrections every now and then, a little bit of profit taking, that is to be expected. This is smart money. Smart money takes profits. So as long as this overall trend continues to the upside, I don't think that we should be too worried about a few days of outflows, especially when majority of these individuals, or I shouldn't say because we don't know for sure, but a majority of the BlackRock outflows looks like they actually moved into Ethereum. Actually, we can see the ETH ETFs right here. Let's just take a quick peek. And you can actually see here that we had $78 million of inflows into the ETF within the past day, yesterday, followed by or trailed by another $70 million, looks like last Friday. So people are accumulating Ethereum. Ethereum's actually bottoming right now versus Bitcoin, but we could talk about that in another video. Let's keep it pushing. So this chart here shows you all the bull market peak indicators, and it essentially lets you know when things in the market are starting to look more, I shouldn't say bearish, but too euphoric, that will slowly take us into that bearish moment. And right now, not a single Bitcoin top indicator is actually flashing, not a single one. You guys can easily pull up these charts as well. It's on CoinGlass. Just Google it, bull market peak signal indicator, whatever, and you'll find it there. But it's 100% hold. So this and a bunch of other things that we went through this video, and some more stuff that I'm going to touch on right now, is why I believe that we have not yet seen the top. And I was actually looking at some crypto news here. Shout out Arthur Hayes. And I want to show you guys a couple other things that I believe justify the fact that we are not actually nearing the double top just yet. For one, James Wynn is still longing Bitcoin, so he must be on to something, am I right? This is flows that we talked about on the ETFs here. So negative a few million for Bitcoin, a lot of millions in for Ethereum. The institutions are going hard on crypto right now, especially Bitcoin, as one of Hong Kong's tech companies announces a plan to acquire 1.5 billion Bitcoin. Russia's largest bank actually launches structured bonds linked to Bitcoin. And the global liquidity is exploding. And we talked about this in one of my last videos. It looks like at this moment that, not the global liquidity, but the, what is it called? The M2 money supply is actually mirroring Bitcoin at this moment. It's in one of my shorts if you guys want to go watch it on my YouTube channel. So let's circle back to the charts now and talk about why, yes, there is a little bit of liquidity below us, but why I don't think it's too much of an issue. If we look back at the liquidity chart real quick, we could actually see that majority of the liquidity is sitting at that 105, give or take, $1,000 level. And I talked about this in one of my last videos, actually one of my first videos, Crash Incoming, that actually predicted this crash that we're seeing right now. I shouldn't really call it a crash, I should call it more of a drawback here. But we talked about the fact that we're probably going to be doing some type of ABC correction here. After seeing this drastic push to the upside, a correction was definitely bound to come. And we talked about the fact that our corrective waves are going to look something like this. An A wave, a B wave ricocheting back up here and actually coming down to either test the bottom of this support range or this buy range. I'm talking about this right here. This is an accumulation range that we have. Or coming down and doing something like this. Boop, boop, boop. And touching possibly this, breaking the $100,000 line and bouncing here before moving up to the upside. And I think that's essentially what we're seeing right now. If you look at this chart, this is a big accumulation range for Bitcoin here. Oh shit. Sorry guys. Right in, oh, that's too big. Right in here is a big accumulation range and a lot of support and resistance within these levels. And I definitely think there's a very, very good chance that since we just blew through this accumulation range, that we'll dip back in here, even if it's just for a quick wick, and then bounce back to the upside. And if we do that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think the dip's gonna be that low. I actually think it's gonna look more like this. Boom, boom, boom. And maybe test this low of this accumulation range here before moving back to the upside. That'll bring us down to about $100,000, and then if we break this and go lower, then maybe we have some more things to worry about. But if we do come back down and touch that $100,000 level, break back into this accumulation range for a bit, maybe fool around in here for a bit before blasting back up to the upside, that would actually clear out all of this liquidity. All these stop losses would be hit. A lot of people will be crying. The FOMO, or not the FOMO, the fear will hit the market, and only then can we actually blast back up to the upside. But that's all I got for now. My quick breakdown on what I think is happening with Bitcoin in the market right now. For altcoins, I'm not going to go too much into that at this moment. We're seeing a lot of despair in altcoins, so just focus on spot buys. Don't trade with too much leverage if you don't know what you're doing. I actually have some bots running on altcoins right now, but we'll get into that into another video. This is all I got for now. This is Denzel, your favorite Canadian crypto host, signing out for today. Leave a like down below.